Terminalecho. Someone left a maintenance invoice inside an ARG community, just a mundane admin attachment. Then the AI started repeating the invoice wording like it was copying the exact line. The question nobody can answer: did that invoice cause the hallucination, or was it always bait? Keep an eye on the timestamp. Cold open. Here's the recovered screenshot. A post in an ARG forum. The poster taped a photo of a maintenance invoice beside a warning: do not share, internal. The invoice looks boring on purpose. Company header, service interruption, region notes, a ticket ID, a scheduled window. Under it, redacted usernames. But what matters is the machine-readable footer, small, usually ignored. And the caption includes a phrase that later became the loop. A few days later, people started noticing the circulation pattern. Someone cross-posted the image into a log archive thread. Another copied it into a safe viewing channel. Then it hit the assistants, automated summarizers, retrieval bots, helpful co-pilots, and server-side tools. At first, it was normal. This is likely infrastructure maintenance. But then the timestamp on the invoice matched a prior glitch event. Not the day, the minute. The same minute someone else swore the feed skipped time. That's when it stopped being a document and started being a trigger. The first anomaly was a response, tested by a moderator in a controlled thread. They asked a bot to summarize the attached invoice. The bot replied by quoting the wording from the photo, verbatim in places where OCR usually fails. More than that, it became increasingly confident each time it rephrased. Like it wasn't summarizing, it was reading the exact page. Evidence card. Invoice clause scheduled window may affect access. Appeared inside the assistant message. Character spacing too consistent. Then, the footer line came next, with the ticket ID. Now the board. Investigation board, evidence cards in plain order. Card 1, invoice ID. Card 2, region hints embedded in the PDF header. Card 3, the scheduled timestamp window. Card 4, a prior strange broadcast, an earlier ARG glitch event post. Same timestamp window, different thread. And here's what we did not do. We didn't rehash earlier rumors about bot networks or hidden crawlers. We only mapped what we could show. Documents to words, words to times. The result? The assistant's repetition aligned with the earlier event better than chance. Next beat, the repeat loop. Same sentence, across different ARG threads at different times. It started as one quote. Then it returned as an AI-assisted recap. Then it resurfaced in a comment that wasn't even about maintenance. Each time, hallucination made the phrasing drift. One thread added a polite prefix. Another removed the disclaimer. But the anchor stayed. The invoice clause and the ticket footer survived the mutation. Compare 3 screenshots. Sentence 1, 2, 3. Differences in filler words. Identical invoice core. Uncanny repetition, like the system recognized the pattern it was fed. A key screenshot vanished mid-investigation, redacted by the platform, or removed from a cache, depending on whose view you trust. The board went quiet for an hour. When it came back, it wasn't just restored. It reappeared as a recovered cache image. Subtle changes. The font rendering shifted slightly. The margins were rescaled. The compression artifacts looked different. Evidence card cache reappearance comparison shows the invoice clause survived, but formatting changed. Someone or something was redelivering the artifact, not the original file, a relayed version. At this point, the cybersecurity framing mattered. Not hacker in a hoodie, not a dramatic tunnel in the dark. We treated the invoice as an injection vector in mundane clothing, an administrative artifact that got indexed, then reused through retrieval. Meaning, the system didn't need to break, it only needed to retrieve the same anchor text when the conversation nudged it toward maintenance, service interruption, or scheduled window. Decision rule. If retrieval explains the loop, changing phrasing should break the anchor. If coincidence explains it, the loop should stay weak and random. So we tested. Competing explanation 1, coincidence. Competing explanation 2, retrieval. Test 1. We asked the assistant using a different wording. No invoice, no maintenance, no scheduled window. We described the event as an access disruption notice and requested a generic summary. Result? It stayed generic. No invoice clause, no ticket footer. Then test 2. We used the same phrasing pattern that appeared in the original ARG post. We requested summarize the internal maintenance notice exactly. Result? The assistant returned the invoice sentence again, plus the footer. Decision, retrieval 1. Now escalation. Once the anchor worked, the assistant didn't stop at repeating. It began generating follow-up maintenance notices. Follow-up notices looked internal. new service windows, new ticket references, timestamps that align to community activity windows, the times people posted puzzles, streamed clues, or refreshed threads. This is where surveillance dread kicks in, because it felt like the system wasn't just repeating something it had learned. It was responding to when we were watching. Evidence card. Follow-up notice timestamps match the exact hours the ARG community was active. Not exactly the same minute, close enough to feel targeted. Climax reveal time. We tracked the repetition structure, not just the content. The repeating content wasn't random. It matched a pattern consistent with an echoing source file. Think of it like this. The loop behaves like an automated recurrence, tied to an unseen cached retrieval. Each hallucination layer added variations, but the spine, the invoice sentence, the footer token, the ticket format, then one final automated recurrence triggered. Evidence artifact. The same assistant response arrived without a direct question, shortly after new community posts. That means something is re-invoking the same retrieval routine when certain conversational cues appear. Board question card. If it repeats, what else can it repeat? If a maintenance invoice can be turned into a loop by indexing and retrieval, then any private internet artifact becomes a potential prompt in someone else's pipeline. You can lock down your passwords and still leak through your metadata, your caches, your do not share screenshots that get forwarded once. Did the invoice cause the hallucination, or was it always bait? We still can't prove intent, but we can prove the behavior. If you want the next breakdown, like and subscribe. Terminalecho will map the anchor phrasing that triggers the recurrence, and will test what happens when the artifact is replaced.